In a small town nestled between rolling hills and a winding river, there lived a young woman named Clara. She was known for her bright smile and laughter that echoed in the air like the sweet notes of a songbird. But beneath that cheerful exterior lay a heart burdened by the weight of unfulfilled dreams and the scars of past experiences. Clara had always been a dreamer, but life had a way of throwing obstacles in her path, each one more daunting than the last. As a child, Clara had envisioned herself as an artist, her fingers dancing across canvases, bringing to life the vibrant colors of her imagination. She would spend hours sketching in her worn-out notebook, pouring her soul into every stroke. But as she grew older, the realities of life crept in. Her family struggled financially, and her parents often reminded her that art was a luxury they could not afford. "You need to focus on something practical, Clara," her mother would say, her voice tinged with concern. "Art won't pay the bills." Those words echoed in Clara's mind, creating a rift between her passion and her reality. She pursued a degree in business, hoping to please her parents and secure a stable future. Yet, with each passing day in her corporate job, she felt a piece of herself slip away. The fluorescent lights of the office felt suffocating, and the endless spreadsheets blurred her vision of the colorful world she longed to create. Clara often found herself daydreaming during meetings, imagining the vibrant strokes of paint she could apply to a blank canvas, the joy of creating something beautiful. One chilly autumn evening, as leaves danced to the ground in shades of amber and gold, Clara received a phone call that would change her life forever. Her younger brother, Leo, had been in a car accident. The news shattered her world. She rushed to the hospital, her heart pounding in her chest, fear gripping her throat. When she arrived, she found Leo lying in a hospital bed, bruised and broken but alive. The doctors were optimistic, but the road to recovery would be long and painful. Clara spent every day by Leo's side, holding his hand as he endured surgeries and therapies. She watched as he fought through the pain, his spirit unwavering even when the odds seemed insurmountable. But as the days turned into weeks, Clara began to feel the weight of her own despair. She was exhausted, emotionally drained from the constant worry and fear. The vibrant colors of her dreams faded into a dull gray, and she felt lost in a world that had become increasingly difficult to navigate. One evening, as she sat in the hospital cafeteria, staring blankly at her untouched coffee, she overheard a conversation between two nurses. They spoke of a patient who had turned her pain into art, using her experiences to create a stunning mural that inspired everyone who saw it. Clara's heart raced at the thought. Could she do something similar? Could she transform her pain into something beautiful? That night, as she lay in her brother's hospital room, Clara made a decision. She would pick up her paintbrush again, not just for herself, but for Leo. She wanted to create something that reflected their journey, something that could capture the essence of resilience and hope. It wouldn't be easy, but she was determined. The following weeks were a whirlwind of emotions. Clara found herself visiting the hospital less frequently, carving out time in her busy schedule to paint. She transformed a small corner of her apartment into a makeshift studio, surrounded by canvases, brushes, and jars of paint. The first few strokes were hesitant, the colors muddied by her uncertainty. But as she painted, she felt the weight of her worries begin to lift. Each brush stroke became a release, a way to channel the pain she had been holding on to for so long. Clara painted late into the night, losing herself in the rhythm of her brush against the canvas. She poured her heart into each piece, depicting the struggle of her brother's recovery, the fear that had gripped her, and the love that had anchored them both. The colors became more vibrant, the images more powerful. With every painting, she felt herself growing, emerging from the shadows of doubt and despair. As Leo continued to heal, Clara invited him to her studio. She wanted him to see the world she was creating, a world where pain transformed into beauty. Together, they laughed and shared stories, their bond deepening as they navigated the challenges of recovery. Leo, inspired by Clara's determination, picked up a paintbrush himself. They spent hours painting side by side, their laughter echoing through the apartment, filling it with warmth and light. One day, Clara decided to host an art exhibition to showcase her work. It was a leap of faith, a chance to share her journey with others. She poured her heart into every detail, from the invitations to the setup. The night of the exhibition arrived, and Clara felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. As she stood in front of her paintings, she shared her story with the guests, recounting the struggles she and Leo had faced, the pain that had once consumed her, and the growth that had emerged from it. To her surprise, people were moved by her story. They connected with her journey, finding inspiration in her resilience. Clara realized that her pain was not just hers to bear. It resonated with others who had faced their own challenges. The room was filled with conversations about healing, growth, and the power of art to transform lives. Clara felt a sense of belonging, a connection to a community that understood her struggles and celebrated her triumphs. As the night drew to a close, Clara stood before her favorite painting, a vibrant depiction of a phoenix rising from the ashes. It symbolized her journey, the pain that had once felt all-consuming, and the growth that had emerged from it. She understood that while the pain had been temporary, the lessons learned and the strength gained would last a lifetime. Months passed, and Clara continued to paint, her art evolving along with her. She began to explore new techniques and styles, pushing the boundaries of her creativity. Each piece became a testament to her journey, a reflection of her growth through adversity. She started teaching art classes in her community, sharing her passion with others, and encouraging them to embrace their creativity. Clara found joy in watching her students flourish, their confidence blossoming as they discovered their own artistic voices. Through her experiences, Clara learned that pain, while difficult, could be a catalyst for growth. It taught her resilience, compassion, and the importance of pursuing her passions. She no longer felt the need to conform to societal expectations or the pressures of practicality. Instead, she embraced her identity as an artist, understanding that her journey was uniquely hers. One evening, as she sat in her studio surrounded by her paintings, Clara received a message that would take her journey to new heights. An art gallery in a nearby city wanted to feature her work in a solo exhibition. The opportunity was a dream come true, a chance to share her story on a larger scale. Clara felt a surge of excitement and gratitude. She realized that her pain had not only shaped her, but had also opened doors she never thought possible. As she prepared for the exhibition, Clara reflected on her journey. She thought about the obstacles she had faced, the moments of doubt, and the love that had guided her through it all. She understood that pain was a part of life, but it did not define her. Instead, it had become a stepping stone toward her growth, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there was always a glimmer of hope. On the night of the exhibition, Clara stood in front of her paintings, surrounded by friends, family, and strangers who had come to witness her journey. As she spoke about her experiences, she felt a sense of liberation. She was no longer the girl who had hidden her dreams. She was an artist, a storyteller, and a beacon of hope for others. The exhibition was a success, and Clara's work resonated with many. People approached her, sharing their own stories of pain and growth, finding solace in her art. Clara realized that her journey was not just about her own healing. It was about connecting with others, inspiring them to embrace their struggles and transform them into something beautiful. In the years that followed, Clara continued to grow as an artist and as a person. She traveled to different cities, sharing her story and her art with the world. She became an advocate for mental health awareness, using her platform to encourage others to seek help and embrace their creativity. Clara's journey was a testament to the power of resilience, a reminder that while pain may be temporary, the growth that emerges from it lasts a lifetime. As she stood before a new canvas, ready to create yet another piece of art, Clara smiled. She understood that life would always present challenges, but she had learned to embrace them. Each brush stroke was a celebration of her journey, a reminder that through pain she had found her purpose. Clara's heart swelled with gratitude as she painted, knowing that her growth would continue, illuminating the path for others who dared to dream.